What's going on, YouTube? I am Germ here, and today we finally have some positive Counter-Strike market news to talk about. This is going to be a very, very exciting video. Obviously, the past couple weeks and months have been a little bit depressing, a little bit of a struggle, a lot of downward movement and a lot of downward momentum, which a seasoned trader, I think, sees as a very, very awesome and exciting opportunity. But obviously, there are a lot of new people in the markets right now, a lot of people who put a lot, if not all of their money in over the past couple months, and have obviously had seen things go down and down and down and down, which again, I think is a really cool opportunity to buy the dip and get some great prices and rewind the clock back to better days and better prices and prices we used to wish we could have picked up or whatever. But again, I also get seeing the number on your portfolio and on your inventory and on your skins go down and down and down can be a little bit rough. So, for those of you out there who have been panicking, who have been stressing, who have been feeling all those roller coaster of emotions, things are finally starting to get a little bit better. Now, I don't know if we've found the bottom. I don't know if things are fully recovering. I don't know if things are bouncing back or if we're about to go even lower. Who knows? But today, I want to give my updated thoughts and opinions on the market, check out how some things are going, and at least finally present some positive news to you guys, which I think we all need, especially during the holiday season. It's a great time for that. But first, let me plug my cash trading business. I am right now getting back into the swing of things, buying Counter-Strike items. I want to buy your items for cash, crypto, whatever. If you're looking to sell anything, obviously there's a ton of people panicking right now, a ton of people who want to have cash, a ton of people who want to get out of their items, a ton of people who just want to move their portfolios around, maybe want to buy some different stuff, whatever. If you're looking to sell, hit me up. Recently, I've gotten some really cool cash trades done. I just recently bought this Butterfly factory new Doppler phase 1. I got this Stat Track factory new print stream from somebody and a couple of Bravo cases for a really, really awesome deal. Help them cash out. So again, if you guys are looking to do that, hit me up. Over on Twitter is the best way. It's going to be linked in the description below. With that being said, let's get right into this. So, this tweet from Price Empire, the market has started recovering. Average increase of 4.36% for the popular CS2 skins in the past week. Now, obviously, I know the memes are like, and especially if you look over here, you can see a ton of stuff is still down 25%, 40%, 26% in the last couple of months. So the meme is like, hey, the market's down 50%, and we had a plus 1% day. Like, oh, start going crazy, and there's a ton of people being sarcastic and all that stuff. But again, before you can fully recover, you have to start slowly recovering. It's not like you're going to go from down 40% to back to even in one day, or you're not just going to have this random like up 100% day or something like that. You're going to slowly have a couple days and weeks like this. And there's a ton of people out there who have said, oh, Counter-Strike's going to keep going down. Why would things start recovering if there's still no new content, the game's still buggy and glitchy, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't really want to buy back into the market until we actually get some new content or people start coming back to the game, blah, blah, blah. But truly, if you understand markets, now obviously the Counter-Strike markets don't always act totally rationally or whatever, but if you understand markets are forward looking. They're not exactly based on what's happening right now. When you're investing in something, you're investing on what you think it's going to do in the future. So there's a lot of, not very smart people out here in the markets, and that's what allows you to have a potential very big edge in the CS markets in general, which is why I think there's such an awesome opportunity. But so many people out there were like, oh, I told you so. I told you these markets were going to drop. And then as they started to drop, they're like, oh, I told you they're just going to keep dropping lower. And then they bounce back and they're like, oh, nope, it's going to drop again. Like, this is just BS, blah, 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 blah. But truly, Valve has been doing some good things. Valve has been putting out some good updates. They have been very, very active. They have been communicative. Obviously, the CS2 release was not something that everyone necessarily loved, or it's not what everyone had hoped it would be, but they have been showing some positive signs. The game has hope. The game has life, and there has been so much doom and gloom surrounding CS2. There has been so much panic selling. There has been the fear. There has been the depression. There has been the absolute kind of pandemonium in a negative way in CS2 with so many people saying, oh, this is just going to keep going lower. It's just going to keep going lower. So many people saying CS2 investing's dead. Oh, I told you so. You guys are idiots for investing in video game skins, blah, blah, blah. Like, we had seen about as much negativity as possible. People were saying CS2 is a terrible game. Valve sucks. Skins suck. Like, at some point, there can only be so much negativity. And at some point, it's still a game with, like, daily peaks of 1 million plus players, an economy that is so insane, and a game with such a bright future ahead of it that eventually, once there is actually new content, once people start coming back to the game, yes, we're going to see, that hopefully, I think we're going to see that price growth and stuff, but that's not going to be the bottom. You know, it's not going to be like, oh, there's bottom of the market and then people start coming back, then it explodes. We're going to start ramping up into that because eventually people are going to say, wow, there's so many skins out there on great deals. There's so many things that are so low. There's so many things that I have always wanted to buy at X price or Y price, and now it's finally there. And that's what people are doing now. So I don't necessarily agree with the people who are saying, oh, it's just going to keep dropping lower. Because I think the game is slowly and slowly getting better. But also at some point, some of these prices are just too good to pass up. And it's still possible we could go lower. But again, we are starting to see a lot of recovery in a ton of different ways. Here's the Esport Fire 300 graph. You know, we can see we hit this bottom around November 15th or whatever. And since then, we are up a really significant amount. This was 286. Excuse me, 286 up to 304. I'm not sure exactly what that is. We can do 304 minus 286 divided by 286. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. 284 minus 286 minus 304. Okay, I'm just hitting buttons now. I don't even know. But was it 18 divided by 286? I mean, we're up like 6%. In about 10 days, which is honestly a really, really nice recovery. That's just on the on the Esport Fire 300 graph. You can see, depending on what else you're looking at, the all items graph's a little bit more all over the place. Obviously, when you include everything, stuff's going to be a little bit weirder. There's going to be more outliers and things like that. Stuff like cases has not really recovered as much as some of the market has recovered. Pre-2016 cases look pretty flat. Yes, some of the 2016 and 2019 is recovering a bit, and the 2022. But again, if you can find some things on dips, you should definitely be checking those out. Agents recovering pretty nicely, but I still think there's tons of opportunities in the market, and I want to make some videos going forward into the future about the things that I think are best to buy during these market dips, because I don't think it's necessarily just the stuff that has dropped the biggest. I think during these market dips, it's a chance to kind of realign your portfolio and your investments and buy the good stuff, because when the good stuff is cheap, you know, when the market's going up, you kind of have to search around for better deals and stuff, because the good stuff is probably way overpriced and expensive. You got to find the stuff that's falling through the cracks. But when everything is dropping, and even the good stuff is a great deal and the good stuff cheap, you really want to be buying that top end stuff. At least I think so. I don't know. I thought this was pretty interesting that the market is recovering. Also, it seems like the player base drops are slowing, because again, over the past 30 days, yes, the numbers are still going down about 8.76% in the past 30 days. I can't wait for these November numbers to come out. Hold on. I got to get my cat down real quick. Whoop. And obviously in October, it was just really, really catastrophic, losing 18.85% of the player base. Again, part of that because when a new game comes out and there's all this hype, obviously eventually that's going to drop off, but especially because the release was so poor. Part of it is also we had seen, you know, this just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months straight of the player base increasing. So there was some drop off that was naturally going to happen there. But also, if you look through the history of Counter-Strike, it's gone through downward periods. Look at this period here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight months of the player base dropping. A minus 16.75 here with an 8 and a 7 around it. Here we had a minus 10, minus 12, minus 6, 3 months in a row. Here we have a minus 7, minus 18, minus 9, 3 months in a row. You know, there are these periods where the player base has dropped significantly. Obviously, back in the very early days, losing 32% of the player base all at once. And Counter-Strike has recovered from all of these. Now, obviously, those were CSGO, and people want to say, oh, CS2 is trash, blah, blah, blah. But the game and the market and the inventories and the skins and everything has recovered from these time periods before, and I think betting against that is very, very foolish, which means buying the dip presents a really, really awesome opportunity. And again, people who have bought the dip have potentially started making some money. Like, yes, obviously if you bought 2 months ago, you're down 20, 16, 20, 17, 20%, whatever. But if you bought a week ago, it's possible that you're up 8%. It's possible that you're up 8% on this. It's possible that you're, you know, up a decent amount on some of this stuff. If you bought a week ago gold air basket, it's possible you're up 15% in a week. It's possible you're up 19% in a week on a blue phosphor. It's possible that you're up 14% in a week on Pandora's box. And these are some of the top items in the game, and these are very, very expensive things. So you can imagine in the middle and lower ends of the market, there's some stuff that's even performed way, way, way better in the last 24 hours, in the last week or whatever. But you can see there's green all over the place in the last week. The market seems to be doing well. People seem to be starting to get excited. Hype seems to be building. Prices, again, doesn't mean we've hit the ultimate floor. Doesn't mean we've hit the ultimate bottom. We could definitely crash down again. But for right now, things seem to be going very, very well. People who have been buying the dip are starting to be rewarded, which I think is a very, very awesome sign. I think that's great. And again, if stuff drops even lower, you can just buy again. You don't have to be afraid of buying too early and stuff going down, because if you are in a position where you are making money or have money coming in to continue to add to your portfolio, which you should, and all good investors do, you can buy again rather than trying to buy and sell and time this and time that. If you are just continuously buying, you will get good prices, or you will get in on good stuff as it's rising up over time if you believe in the markets. And again, if you don't believe in the markets, you shouldn't be in this stuff anyway. But just wanted to get some of this very, very positive news out to you guys that there's tons of green in the market. Things seem to be going pretty well. I want to look at some of like the top. Obviously, there's some absolutely crazy stuff here. But yeah, I don't know. Things seem to be going well. Happy holidays. Congrats to people who bought the dip over the last couple of weeks. Hopefully things keep trending in the right direction. But I think right now the game is trending in the right direction, which I think is a great sign. That's something I'm really excited to see. And I think as the game continues to get better, and again, this is with no major, this is with no new content, no new anything going on. That stuff is coming. And at the very least, we have a major coming in early 2024. That stuff's going to be exciting. You're telling me people see, Simple or Zywoo or whoever popping off in a major, they're not going to want to play the game. They're not going to want to buy some skins. They're not going to open up some cases. They absolutely are. So I think we're going to see a lot more positivity coming in the near future. But pretty much every video today, guys. Hopefully I catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.